So let's say you're talking to, 10 different companies. I'm sure it's more than that, but they're all at different stages. They all have different things going on. You mentioned, companies that are increasing during this time, but it's affecting most of us in a negative kind of fashion. Is like, what's your format? What's your template? What's your playbook? Are there like certain things that you look at each business to check off from a finance, a sales, a people lens? Like, walk us through when you're evaluating and before you give the advice to some of these CEOs. What are you looking at in their business?
Yeah, so each business is unique. And I'm going to take a couple of different passes at this. The first thing, when everything started to change 4 weeks ago, the first thing was take care of your people. Absolutely take care of your people. And what that meant was if there's any way possible, get them to work from home. Get them set up with the equipment they need to be able to safely work from home and to be able to do their job without putting themselves at risk. So people were number one. Then the second thing was figure out what your cash position is, because cash is your safety net. Cash is your buffer. Again, if you have enough cash to get through this, I believe you're going to do well in general. And there are only three levers you have with cash, right? The three levers are revenue from customers, outside capital, and we can talk about PPP if you'd like in the SBA program, but that or investment, and cutting expenses. You either get more capital in the top or you spend less on the bottom. That's it. And there are only two ways really to get more capital, right? You get an investment or a grant in, or you sell more product. And so it was really hard in that next, we got people covered in the first, I'd say 2 to 3 days. And then it got really hard when we had to make some difficult decisions about cash, because everybody's cash position is different. As I said, even the companies that were growing really quickly had an issue with cash. How much should I spend? How much should I lean into growth? How much shouldn't I? Should I pull back? How much? And so it was definitely interesting. An interesting thing I observed, though, was not only did the companies come from different categories in terms of are they growing? We had some that were level, or are they going down? But also the stage of the company. So some early stage companies. So picture you have a startup, you're building some technology, you're expecting to get a couple beta customers, but your plan calls for real revenue 12 months from now. You're on the same plan.
You're good.
Right? Nothing changes, right? Your revenue might be a little less than you thought, but instead of 2,000 a month, it's 1,000 a month. It's not that material. And so those earliest stage companies seem to be doing okay. Now they are worried about fundraising and they're worried about their future. And the companies that are much more mature and have a strong balance sheet. So we have a few companies in our portfolio that have raised literally tens of millions of dollars in the last 6 months. They're generally okay too, because they have a war chest of cash. They are, a couple of them that have a lot of money are making cuts because they don't have the customers, so they don't need the salespeople, customer service, et cetera. But they're trying to right size their staff to match where their revenue will be, but they have enough of a war chest to go through. The ones that feel the pain the most, in my opinion, are the ones that we're close to cash flow positive. We're probably doing 100K, 200K a month, whatever it is. And all of a sudden that got cut in half, or got cut by 75% in some cases. And they weren't relying on outside capital to survive. They were relying on their own revenue, and their own revenue just got cut dramatically. And that is a really difficult place to be. And they're the ones who are feeling the pain the most.